Welcome back to Salty Runback, here to be your weekly intake of North American Developmental League of Legends. We are very close to each other, much closer than usual. At the LCS Finals, we're recording in my apartment right before we go out for day number 2. You got your Cloud9 jersey representing. Hawk. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm doing great. It's been a good weekend, hanging out with a ton of people. We have met a lot of people / talked to a lot of people that we haven't seen in a very long time. And we're having a really good time, I'm super excited, man. I feel like today's gonna be a good day. As a Cloud9 fan, I'm hoping for the best, but I gotta say, NRG and TL put on a good show, and I would not be upset if NRG won because they got the NA players. We gotta support our boys.
We are now the 3rd League of Legends NA podcast that is recording on a couch.
Yeah,
we got Caster's Couch, which you saw on Friday. We have Raising NA, and now we have made our way to the sofa as well. So a little bit closer because our camera angles are weird. This is a very strange setup. We apologize.
We're a little scuffed, but come on, that's the salty Runback way, right?
We do sit down with Wildcard's jungler Keel a little bit later on in this episode, so make sure to stay tuned for that. That was recorded yesterday, and we had some predictions that we had made for how that series went. A little bit incorrect, but
we were all completely wrong, but it's fine.
Except for one special guest, which you'll see later.
Except for one special guest, yeah.
This video, unfortunately, probably will come out after the finals is all done, because I'm not going to be editing this on the train over. So, if you did stop by and say hello, it meant a lot. It's a lot of fun, and hey, we get to keep things going. We get to at least pretend to be productive here on this trip.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we've been trying to do a little content here and there to mix success, but I mean, it's always fun just getting to sit down and, I feel like in some ways we're bridging the gap a little bit between, LCS and NACL with, our conversation, so it's a good time.
All right, should we get into our headlines? A little bit more casual, because there has been no NACL or NACLQ since the last time we recorded. The next time you'll see us is probably either a preview of the promotion relegation tournament, or maybe just due to the schedule we'll be releasing it a day into the tournament. So one or the other. We will be talking about promotion a little bit more next week.
So this is a good question to ask for the viewers, because I don't know. When does promotion relegation actually start? What day? Because it's not the weekend.
It starts on a Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah.
And so
is it
normally record
this
on
coming
Wednesday.
Tuesday?
Yeah, so I think 1 week from this Tuesday.
Oh, 1 week. Okay, 1 week from this Tuesday. Okay. Yeah. So we'll probably have just started promotion relegation, and then we'll
something like that.
Something like that.
Talk about how the
we'll
games
figure it
go.
out. Yeah.
Only one of the matches will have already happened, or something like that. It should be a good time, and we can hop right into our headlines.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Live headlines once again. Hopefully the audio is a little bit better from the last time we were live.
Hopefully the audio is a little bit better. Hopefully we have video this time. A couple things that went wrong last time we tried to do this, but we learned from our mistakes. We are here, ready to go.
You know why? It's because we're giving us just a little bit more time to. We're not trying to release the day of.
Yeah.
Before
honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. Schedule is a little bit better this time around, but let's hop into some of the topics that are surrounding the league or surrounding North America as a whole. We are live in New York. The finals will be taking place at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, for the LCS. And honestly, when we went there yesterday, a lot of fans stopped by. It was very cool at FanFest. A lot of very passionate League of Legends fans for the LCS. But Hawk, my question to you is, do you think people would go to an NACL Finals event if it was in a LAN held at a different place every split the same way? Maybe not necessarily the same size event.
Right, yeah, we're probably not selling out a basketball stadium.
But if you're going to a different state, different city every time, what do you think?
I think this is so interesting because I actually think yes, if some of the rumors we've been hearing are true about more content creators, seemingly, I wouldn't say certain, but the rumors are that more content creators are getting an NACL, at least 2.
Sense.
Yeah.
Just because how successful Disguise was.
Yeah, Disguise sold out Riot Games Arena, which, not trying to shit on the LCS, but I don't know the last time that happened. So, and it was on a Wednesday, no less, keep in mind. It wasn't a weekend. Disguise Toast basically sold out the Riot Games Arena. So, the based on that alone, I feel if we went to a theater somewhere, that seats a few hundred people or whatever, I think that could actually be really successful if content creators were involved. And the rumor that we've heard, maybe I won't say who, I don't know how much we should be leaking here, but I've heard that 2 content creators are going to join NACL next year, and it's somewhat likely. So I think that could happen. I guess The one thing is, like, logistically, that's a lot of money on Riot's end, you know, like hotels and flights and that kind of stuff. That's, like, the one thing that makes me wonder if it would happen, but at least as far as, like, fan interaction, it seems plenty doable.
That's an interesting point. I mean, I'm not sure. So my thing is that I feel like a lot of esports people are already based in LA, and so if you're really dedicated to esports, really dedicated to watching esports, you're probably more likely to be watching the NACL in that regard.
Yeah,
that's why
that's
I
true.
think, you know, maybe LA would sell out a little bit better. But as the league grows, if more streamers start to get involved, potentially, maybe we could get like a decent sized theater rented out to have things happen. I mean, we've had lands in other places that aren't necessarily LCS, and those get a decent amount of fans. So if you travel out to different areas, I just don't know how willing Riot would be about that.
And that's the thing. I feel like it's whether or not Riot's willing, because, like, I mean, spending money on, like, hotels and flights, that's not small. And also, like, talent, all of that. Like, so that is a big thing. But I guess the way I see it is, like, you know, fans of, say, like, Disguised Toast are not just based in LA. So, like, sure, esports people oftentimes are, but there's esports fans all over, and especially if they're, like, a fan of this streamer, and then they like League of Legends, and they heard that, like, that streamer's team was playing in New York City, for example, or in Newark, like, that would, I think, actually get, I think, like, that would do really well.
And there's also people that travel a lot, anyway, so it would be, like, more another thing for people to have to travel to, but if it's your favorite streamers, like, in other events kind of surrounding it, or maybe, like, NACL Finals are, like, a primer in that location for LCS, or something like that.
Ooh, like, it's a 3-day finals weekend, you have LCS Finals.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe
That's an idea, too. That would be interesting. Yeah. I mean, for some people, too, like, Rude Dude, fucking psycho, by the way, first time in the States, spending most of his time in New Jersey. I respect it. But, like, you know, it's like a vacation. It's like a way to kind of go somewhere, go to a new place, and see people that he knows. And so,
I would be down. I would probably, you know, try to travel. I mean, I couldn't make it to LA. I couldn't make it to LA this summer, but
I would go if I could, like, drive it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And, like, that's, like, you know, like, 8 hours. Like, so, I mean, I live on the East Coast in DC. That's, like, a lot of space to cover. Yeah. So.
You heard it here first, right? We would go to the LAN. So
we would.
At least two of us who, you know, have a podcast dedicated to it would go. So
you would have 2 seats filled, at least.
If not more. So.
As long as it's on the East Coast, because I probably can't afford a plane ticket.
Yeah, I just love the LANs and everything, and it makes me think about this
so
stuff.
Fun, man.
It would be a very cool thing.
Shout out to everyone that went to the live finals too in LA. Yeah. Like all of our friends, you know, anyone else, if you're a fan, shout out.
Let's move on to our second topic. Just diving really quickly into the promotion and relegation tournament. Just as a bit of a primer, we have, of course, our 4 teams: Mirage Alliance, Winthrop University, Team Ambition, and Lit, alongside Supernova and Team Fish Taco. This is a bit of a different format this year. Only 2 teams will make it in instead of 4. Mm-hmm. How many NACLQ teams are going to get promoted? 0, 1, or 2?
Yeah. I honestly think this one's pretty cut and dry for me. I think it's going to be just a 1. I think Mirage Alliance is going to get in. I think everyone thinks Mirage Alliance is going to get in. We were actually asking some people yesterday about their thoughts on that topic. I think Mirage Alliance is probably going to make it in. I just think that Team Fish Taco was solid enough, and I'm not inspired necessarily by the other teams. Like, I don't know, like Team Ambition, Winthrop, and Lit are all really good, but like I think TFT is really good as well. Honestly, the one thing I will say is I think it'll be a really competitive promotion relegation.
I feel like we still have a lot of questions that need to be answered and multiple reasons, because first of all, we haven't seen the NACL teams play in like over a month.
We have not,
They could have taken massive jumps. They could also have maybe stopped scrimming and not really have improved at all. So we have to think about that. And on the other side, for the qualifiers, there's teams like Lit Esports who kind of have a new roster that they have now maybe gotten some time to work with. And, you know, maybe that throws a bit of a wrench into things. Like, obviously, Lit didn't look great in the second qualifier, but they only had like 1 week to play with Rockboom kind of subbed in. That's a big...
And they had a new support coming in Flux as well for the second qualifier, which was not planned.
Yeah, so there's still a lot of question marks. I'm more leaning, actually, after thinking about it more towards 2 qualifier
Really?
teams.
You think it's gonna be a double promotion?
I mean, Team Fish Taco, I think, was the team in my head that is most likely to make it through, alongside, I guess, Mirage Alliance. However, I don't know. I mean, they did kind of have a 0-6 end to the split. They lost all their games, albeit with a different player, with Soul subbed in. And
Yeah,
I'm not entirely
that's true,
sure what
though.
that situation looks like right now in terms of roster for that team. So until they prove me otherwise, like, that's kind of the vision that I might have a little bit more of now that I'm thinking about it a bit more. And I think, Team Ambition, if they turn it up, if Liddy Sports look like they're firing on all cylinders finally with their completed roster, and Winthrop has been a very consistent team throughout the qualifiers, who knows, we might see 2 teams. And I think I'm starting to lean a little bit more towards there. But I do think Mirage Alliance makes it through. Those guys are really good.
Okay, so which you're hyping up all the qualifier teams, which I'm with you. Which one makes it, other than Mirage? I'm kind of curious.
I'd say Team Ambition.
Okay.
Or Lit.
Team
If they
Ambition
have like
it's not Winthrop. We're gonna have mobility in our DMs again after this.
I think Winthrop is a very consistent team. I think they don't necessarily have the highest highs or the lowest lows. I think the other teams kind of do.
Yeah.
So if one of them kind of clicks, I think that is a better chance, because if they're kind of playing at like the same consistent level compared to some of our NACL teams, maybe they get outmatched a little bit. That's kind of my thought process.
Yeah, as much as I'm memeing on you, I do think I kind of agree with you on that. Yeah, I mean, you're right. TFT did have a bit of a tough end. I don't know. I just feel like I think their players are good enough, and they have. I think TFT will be fine, but I do think it'll be competitive. Like, I don't think they're like AoE last split, for example, where AoE like 3-0'd everyone that wasn't Maryville. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that TFT will have to fight for their spot. I believe that they can defend it, but I believe that TA, I think I'm specifically looking at TA, could usurp them if they play well on the day.
I'm still a Liddy Sports believer, just a little bit. We'll
Yeah,
talk
I
about them
know,
more
I
next
know,
week when
yeah.
we start to do our promotion recap and stuff like that. But yeah, just a little bit of a taste, just to get everybody's expectations maybe set, because the start of the promotion relegation tournament probably will be before our next episode comes out.
Right.
Take a quick break from that to talk about some other announcements that have happened across the space. There's been multiple collegiate lands that were announced for the fall season.
True.
An underrated part of the CLO season is when things like Q-Fest, the ISU event that's going to happen, and whatever else ends up popping up. You get to see all the collegiate players, all the collegiate teams kind of with their new rosters. Obviously, we're probably going to see like that Winthrop team for the first time again.
Yep.
Do you like the way that the current collegiate system interacts with semipro? Because it's kind of disconnected and connected at the same time. We did get a chance to talk to the RSAA booth at the Fan Fest earlier this weekend. What do you think about the whole situation?
So, I kind of don't like how it interacts with semipro, to be honest with you, just because I feel like it's still the same. We've had this conversation before. For whatever reason, it feels very like separate. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I don't understand why. Like, I do, but I don't, because collegiate should have its like own space to operate. But it is, I don't know. I feel like it's weird how compartmentalized away from each other they are. I like that collegiate teams are allowed to play in semi-pro, and I like that they do. But it does put like a lot on the players as well. Like, not a lot of schools do that for reasons that are like kind of clear when you look at their schedules. So I don't know what the solution is, but yeah, it's tough. I love the way collegiate interacts with itself, though. Like, I love that they're putting on these collegiate lands, and like I think CLOL is a really good thing, and like, I mean, the top 4 in LA is amazing, and hopefully this new company coming in is able to do even more for like the earlier portions of it and make it really awesome. Which, by the way, if you're hosting a collegiate land, let us know. We would love to cover it. So I love the way I think collegiate has established itself a really great community. And the thing I talked about community on this show like 3 weeks ago, maybe at this point. College is like free community, at least as far as like fandom and stuff. So yeah, like I like the way collegiate does that. But the way it interacts with semi-pro is it's basically like, the collegiate teams that are coming in are just like it's just like a collegiate team entering a completely different hemisphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting because you start to see situations where schools like Maryville and maybe Winthrop, if they end up coming in, are gonna have to like choose between what they want to value or not. And I think the idea of collegiate esports is great because you get these students that are these players, these young kids, opportunities to go get an education while also you know, pursuing their pro careers. And I think Riot has kind of made it intentional that they want to kind of separate that path to pro and collegiate a little bit. Obviously, we've seen a little bit of a bridge now with Maryville coming in and with some of the other collegiate programs that have tried to enter, but I don't know what exactly could be done to change that, but I do like more of the idea that if you want to try to go pro, collegiate is a bit more of a viable option.
Yeah.
Right now, it seems like it's either kind of like a backup plan or unless you go to Maryville, basically.
Yeah.
And so if that can change and like there are more options to go to school and also like still have teams kind of scout you if there's more maybe connection between that and the NACL. I think having both is important because obviously if you're somebody who's already finished school, you don't want to like be forced to go back just so you can continue to play, right? So it's interesting.
Yeah, no, I'm exactly with you. I don't know why Riot has always considered collegiate to be secondary to semi-pro when I actually feel like it should be the other way around. Just because it's I feel like collegiate, yes, a lot of collegiate programs aren't quite at like that level of facilitating things yet, and I understand that, but it's, I think at the end of the day, more sustainable than the semi-pro space really ever will be. And that's not to say that semi-pro doesn't have value, but I feel like for those that are able to go and play collegiate, which obviously like not everyone wants to or is able to, and that's fine. But for everyone that's able to, I feel like that should be seen as the first option. Sort of like, for college basketball, for example. College basketball, which is changing a little bit, but for the longest time has always been seen as the better option over the G League. You go to the G League if you're not interested or able to play college basketball. And then they're both paths to the NBA.
On the other hand, you have baseball, where you have college is kind of that secondary option.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's true.
Minor leagues, which in a way is NACL. And those are very different systems. And it is interesting that, like, in one sport, you kind of jump right into pro or right into the top league. And in baseball, it takes you normally a couple of years to grind it out in the developmental space.
But, they've done a lot to ensure the sustainability of the minor leagues.
Yeah,
minor league baseball is very successful.
And, yeah, I am interested to see. I hope that there's a little bit more connection because right now, like for MLB at least, like there is kind of that separation, but I feel like works a little bit better.
Like this is a wild idea that would probably never happen, but it just came to my head. Like, what if there's a tournament where it's like collegiate versus semi-pro? Like one side of the bracket's like collegiate. I don't know. That's stupid. Don't do that. But that I don't know. Just something. Like that. Something that like incentivizes collegiate programs, or something that incentivizes like the legitimacy of collegiate programs in that space.
It's always an interesting conversation. I'm sure that there's a ton of discourse about it already. It's just with all the new collegiate stuff happening, with the new partnership that's come in and all the lands being announced, it's nice to have a bit of a conversation.
And I think this will be an evolving conversation over the years too. I mean, I remember people were talking about this in between spring and summer when we had our mini NACL boom about like what's the value of collegiate in the space. Didn't seem like it changed too much then. But I think with this new company coming in and heading into 2024, I think this will be an evolving conversation for sure.
Let's take a look at our fourth topic, which is a recap of our Salt Street bets.
Fuck.
I haven't gone over the numbers just yet. However,
it's gonna be terrible.
It might be like kind of close for a couple of reasons.
There's no way it's close, right?
It depends on the prop bets that we had. And actually, now that I think about it, I don't remember how much some of the prop bets, like how much money we gave to each of them. So we'll have to...
I feel like we gave like 1 to 4 odds for like every single one, didn't we?
Yeah. So I think right now to just do some rough math, we could just say it was around 3 to 1 odds each time.
We gave really similar odds for each one. I remember that being a thing. So
I've got the portfolios up right now. Let's take a look at the teams that we invested in at the start of the split. I think I'm going to do a little bit better here. FlyQuest, I invested $450 in. They were in 4th place at the time. I think they finished around 4th or 5th, so I don't get anything in that regard. Fear and AoE, though, I do double my money. I guess so. So for Fear, I invested $250 when they were 6th. They finished 3rd. if I'm not mistaken. So that means that I get the third, fourth bonus of 1.5, and I also double my money, which gives me $750 there. And for AOE, the same case as well for them. They finished better than 9th. They went 2 places higher. I think they finished 7th and 8th.
They went 7th, 8th, yeah.
And so that's actually an interesting conversation because does that mean that I get it or
yeah,
not?
that means you get. They finished like a placing.
So they went
tier.
from tied to 9th to tied to 7th.
I feel like that.
Okay, so
I feel like that hits. Yeah.
I will double that there. So that was $300, or hold on, $450 plus $250. Yeah, so that was $300 there. So I get $600. So that's $1,350 for me there.
Oof, I'm losing everything, y'all.
I don't know if you got anything off of this portfolio. I'm not gonna lie. You have TFT.
I think I lost
at
it.
$400. They fell to 10th, so you get nothing there. You have Maryville, who were at 5th place, and they went down to 7th, 8th, so I don't think you think anything there. And you invested $400 in TLC, who were 1st place at the time, and they fell down to 0.
There's a reason why in economics class they tell you to buy low, sell high, and you buy high, this shit happens. Because they didn't go higher. I lost everything.
So I have $1,350 off my portfolio. So I did profit just a little bit, $350.
And you also pushed on fly, right? So you have to. Did you add that? Just the amount that you bet. No, you pushed.
I don't lose.
You pushed.
Oh, I push.
Yeah.
Oh, what a dub.
Right,
Okay.
because they finished 5th, 6th, I think, and they were in 4th when you bet on them.
Yeah, so.
How does that? Wait, no, they finished 4th. They finished 4th.
They finished 4th. Okay. Well then, yeah.
Yeah, you're good. So you push.
I do push there. So that's $1,800 for me. Or that honestly, now that I'm looking at it, that might be enough. Even
that. I feel like no matter what happens with the rest of this, it's enough. But we'll go through the rest anyway.
I have 3 of my 4 teams promoted. No. You did have 4 of your 4 teams promoted here. Okay. You did predict just the top.
So I get $2,000 for that, and you get. Wait, how does that work?
You get 2,000. I get 1,000. Oh.
You're still up on me by 800 then.
Okay, so you're at 2,000. I'm at 2,800.
2,800.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take a look at the prop bets now. Your first prop bet was an affiliated challengers team does not win the split.
Oh! Okay,
so you do hit that, and I think if we call it 3-1 right there.
Sure, yeah.
Another $300 for you.
23.
So that's
23. Okay, 23 to 28.
My first prop bet, Maryville have a 6-0 week. They did have an 0-6 week.
They did have an 0-6 week. Yeah.
So I do not get anything there. Your second prop bet is that Komodo makes it to the semifinals in at least one qualifier tournament. I hate to say
that is.
They did not do that.
Brutal. Yeah, Komodo. I was really trying to cope for them, and it did not work out.
They brought together I don't think did they even make playoffs in either of them? I don't even know if they did.
I don't think they did. No, yeah. I think they.
The second one they definitely didn't. The first one, I don't think they did either. Because
they
lost to Keel's Grandpa Gamers. Yeah.
Wow, that is.
So,
Komodo did not live up.
It looks like you're gonna fall just short. My second prop bet was that a new OQ team seriously challenges in tournament 2. Coachify, I don't think we can qualify as a new team. So I don't think I'm gonna
they kept their points, so I feel like it doesn't count.
So
but that was close.
2,800 to 2,300.
Oh right, because we only did 2 prop bets each, right? Wow.
A little bit closer than we thought.
Okay, that was better than I think last time too.
Yeah, not bad.
That could have been a lot worse. Man,
once again, I think I'm 2-0. Two splits in a row, catching those dubs.
Buy low, sell high.
Yeah, that was my plan. I invested in AOE. I thought they were good, and that was right after they had the Will 80 carry incident, and so
that was right after the Will 80C incident, and after Cincinnati Fear had like a 2-4 week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to believe in like the hype, but that is why I'm not in finance. So.
We are around Wall Street right now. It's pretty far south here, actually, I think. But we can move on to our last topic before we jump over to our interview with Keel. This is the second time that we've been at a league event in person. One of them in Los Angeles, California, for CELO, and now here for LCS Finals in New York / Newark, New Jersey. Which city do you prefer more as an unbiased person? Because I'm a bit biased. I'm from the area.
You are a bit biased. See, I've got to be honest with you guys. I don't really like New York that much. That might be like a hot take. I'm not a big fan of New York City. It has grown on me a little bit, this weekend. Like we had like a good time last night and everything with some people. And like I was like, New York's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I just feel like I like the vibes of LA a little bit better. New York, everyone's like angry and like hates their life. LA is like a little bit more chill and everything, and they both like are really annoying to navigate. Like everyone talks about LA traffic, which is absolutely a problem, but it took us like 2 hours to get back from to get anywhere yesterday, like via train.
That is because we went into New Jersey.
That is because we went into New Jersey, but still, like I don't know, it's I've always just kind of liked LA. I also have a lot of friends that live out there too.
Yeah.
So, like not even just esports friends. Like I have a lot of other friends as well. So that's kind of like a little plus. Maybe that's a little bit biased, but yeah.
Yeah. The two things going for LA is the people that are there.
Yeah.
Also, the weather is pretty good.
The weather's pretty good. Yeah. We've had actually really nice weather this weekend.
That
though.
is true.
It's been really nice.
However, if you're here like in a really, really hot and humid time, like LA gets hot, but it doesn't really get humid.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Unless like you're there right now and it's like pouring rain.
Yeah, I hope you guys are doing okay in the hurricane. If you're in LA and listening to this, hunkered down in your house.
But
good luck.
Yeah, good luck to you. Hopefully. But I mean, I do have a soft spot for New York. We've tried the New York pizza, the New York bagels.
That's
here.
true.
You have had some high praises for them. I will say.
Okay, the bagels and the pizza were good. However, I might make some enemies with this. LA has such good food, like better than New York. Like, like, dude, you have like some of the best, like most authentic, like Asian food, Hispanic food, like.
I mean, you have it here too.
I mean, sure, yeah, you're right, but I don't know. LA food goes so hard. I'm sure it's good in New York too. It's all good. I don't know. New York's cool. I like LA. I like LA, and you know.
I do like how New York is structured a little bit, especially Manhattan here. It's just like a grid, so it's very easy to kind of navigate.
Yeah, LA's kind of a clusterfuck.
Yeah, and also in LA you have to drive everywhere, and we have not had to use a car.
It's true.
For the most part.
Stashed my car in a garage, and it's been sitting there ever since. So.
Yeah, so, you know, I've grown up here. I've lived here a lot of my life, so there's a bit of a soft spot for the New York metro area.
That's fair.
I do have a bit of a newfound appreciation for LA just from going out that weekend. So
yeah,
it is cool.
When you hadn't been out there in like a long time, right?
Yeah, I had no idea really.
Because for those that don't know, last summer I lived in Los Angeles for 2 months, and then I've been out there 2 more times in the last year. So like I've been there a few times, whereas you were kind of like you hadn't been there in a long time, which is kind of cool. Like I've not been to New York in a long time either. Like I mean I came up to Madison Square Garden for Worlds last year for like literally I drove up and back the same day.
Yeah.
Which I feel like doesn't really count. Yeah. This is actually the first time I've stayed in New York, probably, I would say, in like a solid like 12 years, probably. I was probably like 10 last time I was here. Yeah. Like stayed in New York. Yeah.
Interesting.
I've done day trips before, but.
Very cool. Well, hope that everybody enjoyed the finals, enjoyed this unorthodox salty runback.
Yeah.
We always like, having something to do.
Yeah.
We kicked off
a good time.
Kicked off our summer with a LAN, ended it with another LAN. It's kind of a good way to close
Hell
things
yeah,
out. We're gonna kick it over to our part 2, where we interviewed Keel of Wildcard Gaming. We're joined by a very special guest today. We're here with Keel, right outside the Prudential Center. We just wrapped up FanFest. How are you doing, Keel?
I'm doing great. It's been an eventful morning. Settling in though, yeah, it's good.
It took a while to get in. You want to tell us the full story about trying to enter this building?
Yeah, I scanned the Sunday tickets for a group of like 5-6 people. Lady didn't say anything, so did a little mile walk around and then finally got inside like 10 minutes ago. Yeah.
They knew you were going to be sitting around watching the games all day, so they just wanted you to get your steps in, right?
It was nice of them, yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, this is not your first in-person event, Keel. Apparently, you were at Worlds, saw me, didn't say anything. Well, you want to... I still don't know the full context of this, so you want to try to explain?
My memory, I was in the very back row.
This does check out.
Yes, the very back with just like my IRL friends, like 2 hours of sleep. And I think it was like the team with Levi on it playing.
Yeah.
Because I remember the Karthus game that day, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm like 90% sure that's grapes. But then I saw you with presumably your father. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe I shouldn't say anything. And then I was just too tired and just Never got.
Was
Sorry,
Sean
not to.
Atonin?
No,
I did not see him.
it was my dad. So
Oh.
it wasn't the day that you were there, I guess, because
Well,
it was.
but the GAM game was the day I was
Was
there.
it the day you were there?
I might
Yeah.
just have the games wrong then, like the schedule wrong.
Maybe,
Yeah. But for
But
sure, it was just
either
you and your
way,
dad.
yeah.
So me and
If it were
my
you, if it was you.
so I was there with some of my IRL friends also.
Yeah.
And I wanted to try to sit with my dad for a little bit, but then we kind of just like crept towards the front because
Yeah.
those weren't where our real tickets were. Our real tickets were like back there, and then we got kicked out because it was like a really big game, and so me and my dad went back there, and then the seats kind of sucked.
Yeah, it was hard to see. I think I even had it just on my phone at some point. And it's just
You're from around here, right?
Yeah, I'm from north of Philly, like 30 minutes, so like 2-hour drive to here.
Right. Oh yeah, and so Fisher is also. I mean, that's a little north of here, but like how's that going? How's collegiate life?
We're starting up scrims like next week for collegiate.
Nice.
So
top 8 this past year. I mean, pretty strong showing.
it was my first. Like I went to Columbia College too, like 2 years ago, but then I never got to play the C-Law. I went to CLG before I got a chance. So,
Yeah. Do you want to
my
leak?
first like real. What's
Do
the
you
league?
want to leak the full roster for us?
For Fisher?
Full Fisher roster, all 20 of the players, or how many are you gonna get in there?
There's only one big change that I know of that I won't leak, but I'll tease. There's one like main change. Yeah. But I'm saying.
Hey.
So I want to ask you, because you were, of course, competing in NACL for like the entire year, and then kind of hopped into Fisher like for some of the big games towards the end. Like, what was that experience like? How much were you actually playing with them versus like being a part of the team? Because from the outside, we were kind of like, oh yeah, like Keel's like kind of here, but like sort of not.
Yeah. Well, I kind of just told them. I think they really wanted me to come, and I'm like, I'm gonna be pretty busy with NACL. And they're like, okay, don't worry, we'll make it work. So yeah, they were a little mad when they like actually lost, like just like an upset round without me. He was not too happy about it because it messed with the seating.
Is that the Old Miss?
I don't even remember who they lost to. It might have been York. I think they lost to York.
Might have been York.
And yeah, people were not happy. But I didn't even really know what was going on. And then once I came in, things were going better. I think we had like really high peaks and then just some bad lows. And it's kind of how the season went for C-Law.
Yeah. You guys like still finished strong though. I mean, taking a game off UST, Maryville only took 1 too, so yeah, still pretty good. But I mean, you've been around competitive actually for a pretty long time. So do you want to like briefly kind of like walk us through how you got into it and sort of what your journey's been up to this point?
Yeah, I guess my first time I hit Challenger was 2019, season 9, and I went to scouting grounds the same year. As like I was like really fresh, kind of didn't know anyone, didn't know like anything about like competitive. I I played like mainly Karthus, Nunu, and like Kha'Zix. It was like
Nothing has changed.
Yeah, that's it. That's
I
a
know.
pretty evil champ.
I made it more adaptable. Yeah, at the time they were like, oh, maybe you can like play some Lee Sin. What else is meta? Like Elise, Gragas. I like Gragas too, but I was just trying to like make it work. And then I thought I did like okay circumstantially. Like my like competitors were like just Challenger for years and years. It was like Inori, Fnatic, and Winston. I was just like too new, but I thought I still did like okay. After that, like took a year off school and just like got a lot better. I think learned a lot of the things I was missing. And then at that point I was like, okay, still no offers, and that's when I went to Columbia College. And then right after one semester I got into CLG just as a sub. And then that ended up turning into more when I did like pretty well in like the like month or two that I had. And then ended not as good.
Very quickly, we want to touch on this a little bit. So first of all, you weren't part of the original roster plan, right?
For
Because
CLG?
yeah,
Yes, it was just because of Brox's visa issues. They just needed someone. And as far as I know, Wiggly and RJS were just like, just get Keel. Like, seems like he's probably the best jungler available. It was pretty much just down to the players to like choose the jungle to sub in. So a little bit of luck, honestly, just to get in like the first foot.
yeah. And okay, I don't know if you remember this, but I did put out a tweet in like 2021 when the whole like Bud Light Ace thing came around, and then I also said like, by the way, like the academy team also sucks. So I'd like to apologize.
No problem.
For all that. But being that team that like didn't, make it to PG in summer split, like, did you feel like, because from the outside it's like, oh man, like this team full of people that I don't really know too well, with some Australians, and then you, who's kind of new. Did you feel like that was kind of like a a bad like spot for your career, and like, yo, like maybe this is like not a, like, man, I didn't make it out, so like nobody's gonna want me ever again?
I think I didn't at the time understand the impact it would have. Like, honestly, even with like the 16th place or like whatever, how bad we did, I was like, yeah, I'll probably have like a couple offers. Like, that was what I thought of myself. Like, I thought I did really good circumstantially, and then reality hit. It's not like that. It just doesn't go like that when it's that bad. But I was still surprised. Yeah, like there was even, I was like, because the whole org was just falling apart, and then it was like pretty high chance I was gonna play LCS even that split at some point.
Wow.
So I just wasn't really anticipating how it ended, but it was fine. Just was like, okay. And then like a couple months after that was when Champions Q came out. And then I got to sub for 100 Thieves Academy. Like sub / just like
Right,
coaching.
yeah.
Right. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It was with like Kenvi and Kenvi Wixie. That's how I met Wixie too.
Right.
And Buzio, yeah.
So how did you take that experience then from like the end of 2021, like you said, not really what you were hoping for, reality hit and everything, and then I mean, like Ginger Turmeric, summer of last year,
Yeah.
popping off, doing super well in PG, like no miracle run nobody expects,
Mhm.
and then this year Wildcard. How is that sort of like? How do you feel like you've grown during that time? And then like tell us about just that sort of journey.
I think the most growth was probably my most recent split, the one that just happened, because I think I had always had similar like understanding, or like I think I've been consistently like the same type of like person in a team, but just like gameplay stuff, I think I've really, with like a more like standard team that I had in the second half of Wildcard, a lot more of like the fundamental things that like I just like didn't do as often, or like didn't fully understand, like started clicking. And I think that's why like my last split was a lot maybe just like better, just more dominant, and just like more people noticed at the very least.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but even like dating back to what I thought was like last year, it seemed like you're a really like big facilitator and like leader on your team. Do you feel like that's like a big like characteristic of how you play, and how just like your style works like in a team environment at this point?
Yeah, I think I really try and make sure everyone's like on the same page. Like, I'm very like confrontational too. Like, okay, someone's unhappy, like tell me why, what do you want to change? Just making sure everyone's like happy with each other. Excuse me. So yeah, I think that type of attitude I've had, like even from CLG when I was a rookie. I just didn't know as much of what to say or like what to do in the game, but I think it's only gotten like more as time's gone on. And I think I'm still doing the same thing.
Cool. And so aside from like your personal journey as well, one thing we've really been covering on our show this year has been like, you know, all the changes to the NACL system and like what 2024 needs to look like and everything. So we heard that a lot of teams in Challengers League were trying to get out at the end of Spring Split. Obviously a lot of the LCS orgs did, but like we heard that some of the provisional teams were as well. Was that, like, I guess, how did the changes sort of affect you? How was the summer split despite that, more on like the, you know, I guess enjoyment and competitive side? And what do you want to see heading into 2024?
Yeah, I mean, even for our team, like I think everyone in the whole scene was kind of like, okay, maybe my team won't even exist, like what's gonna happen?
Mm-hmm.
There's like a bit of panic at the start, and then as time progressed I was like, okay, like, yeah, sure, let's play, seems fun, try again. Kind of took like some convincing. Saligo was kind of like, because Saligo, we thought we were gonna lose him before the academy teams left. It was like extremely likely.
Like to another
Yeah, to, like,
LCS
one of the-
affiliate.
Yeah, to like the academy teams.
Wow.
Okay.
Or sorry, whatever they're called. Yeah. The, like,
Something,
fees,
yeah.
the challengers.
There's all the naming.
They hate when
We
you
say,
call it academy,
yeah.
the challengers teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sligo was like 99% gone. Isles as well was like 99% not gonna happen. So it was like, okay, well, who even knows what the team's gonna look like? Like, I don't know. And then somehow ended up being mostly the same, plus Isles, we thought.
Unfortunate.
But yeah, Sligo kind of just talked to him, and we both decided like that we really trusted each other to like be able to produce good results and like make it worth doing. So it just seemed like we thought we could just run it back and have like a really good, like a better run than the one before. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well for you guys. I mean, it's a pretty solid split, like, across the board. I feel like Wildcard was definitely one of the success stories of, you know, the the provisional teams in spring / heading into summer. So it was a good look.
Is there something about like having all the unique draft and champion pool things that let you guys get off to like such a hot start both splits, or is it kind of just how it went?
Well, especially with like Moose at the start, right? Like, true. It's just a given.
Garen.
It's just a given that the team will somehow be like that, which I had already been used to. Somehow I became used to like the.
Well, you had Argentum coaching you last.
Yes, Argentum. Well, Argentum just for AGT.
Yeah.
Never on Wildcard. Yeah. It was kind of like my champion pool became more standard, I think, because I had Coach Griffin, who's just like, LCS jungler. And then I think just the way they changed jungle when it was like Sejuani Maokai every game, it was like not even viable to play how I was playing on AGT.
Yeah.
So it just like made more sense to shift that part of the identity. And then, we like leaned in more to how like Moose is playing, or like even Sligo was just playing mages when I think the meta was a lot of like Silas, Akali.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else people were playing mid, but some like non-viable champs for sure. Same with like Acel when it first got reworked. Thought it was the worst champ in the whole game.
Well,
Got to beat it a couple times before people stopped.
Hey, it worked out pretty well. So, I mean, Grapes, unless you have anything else that we want to talk about from 2023, looking ahead a little bit, like, I wouldn't be surprised if season just ended like a few weeks ago. You probably don't exactly know what you're going to do in the future, but...
very quick thing.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Third place in MVP voting. Is that correct?
Oh, true, yeah.
Do you think you deserve to be first? You can justify your case right now. We haven't had Masu on the show, haven't had any of the other ones, so...
I think for a good like 4 out of the 6 weeks, it was like for sure I was going to be first place. But our team just started struggling too badly at the end that I was lucky to get third by the end, given how bad we were doing. But for the start, I thought I was like easily going to be first. Yeah.
I mean, for what it's worth, I didn't see as much outcry about the MVP voting this split, including when you got third. Like, everyone was like,
it was
hell
still,
yeah, like, Keel was great. Like,
I mean, when Mir got second, there's still some discourse,
but,
But what do you think?
People were happy to see you. People were happy to see Masu.
Yeah, at least I got the 2-0 on Mir. We played 2 games of Sejuani mid.
Yeah.
Sejuani mid with carry jungle, and that's why I was like, okay, I thought.
Dude, your Belveth was nasty.
Dude.
I remember that because like Deserex was writing, he did like the whole super heavyweight SmackDown thing with you two. It was this big high matchup, and you just come in and like shit on them on Belveth. So
yeah, I think Mir's not used to versing the crazy like farm heavy junglers, or just like chance that hard win 1v1 especially seems like a bit of a weakness for them. That was kind of our plan for TL. It was just like, okay, we're gonna fight every objective the entire game.
Nice.
And that was right before APA went to LCS as well.
yeah. Anyway.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, so anyway, looking ahead then, sure you probably don't exactly know what the future is going to look like, but what are your goals heading into 2024 and beyond? I mean, still looking to go pro, hoping that MVP vote rings true, or what?
Yes, I just really, really want to play LCS. I feel like I'm beyond ready. Like, a lot of LCS, I think, is just getting a chance and not wasting it. Essentially, like, limited amount of games, best of ones. You don't have, like, that many opportunities to, like, use the chance if you do get it.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping I at least get the opportunity in some capacity. It's really my goal. Like, really happy for APA, rooting for APA today. Been my friend for a while. And I think, like, a lot of the NACL players are, like, good enough to, like, really easily just play in the same league. Because NACL teams just have their whole different... Like, the problems you have are just so different compared to the LCS team's issues. There's like wider ranges of like skill in the team, or just like just a lot of different issues depending on where you play. So yeah, I just really hope I get the chance to play.
Yeah, hoping for that too. I mean, I feel like APA example, you said, like, shout out to APA, by the way, like an example of one of those players that got the chance and hasn't squandered it. So yeah, hoping you get
In
that
touch with
chance,
his
man.
champ pool, I'm glad he stuck with the Ziggs and the Kaz.
Yeah,
Still
he's
running
sticking
it.
to
The Koreans
guns.
believe in the Ziggs.
He's been playing a ton of his Nico up there.
It's funny
too.
'cause
like it's been
I
disgusting.
During champ select of like LCS games, I see people see like the Nico the Ziggs locked in and feel like, whoa, this is crazy. I was like,
Yeah,
dude, come on,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
APA.
yeah.
What are you talking
Real
about?
ones know. Real ones know.
So you're not holding any CLG favoritism, even though you work for them for NRG today. This is all TL.
No, all about APA today.
Are they? What's like series score?
I think TL is gonna 3-1 too.
3-1.
I think if TL, I'm in APA's DMs. I'm like, you cannot be playing Jace mid. That was how they lost energy the first time around.
Dude, I don't know why he
Let's
was
stop
playing
pretending.
Jace.
So if he plays Jace mid,
He never played Jace in
They will not.
NACL.
They've been banning it. Luckily, yeah. Now they're in third place match. They've just been banning it out. So hopefully they stick with it. That's my hopes now.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, if we don't have anything else, I mean, we will open the floor up. Like, anyone else you want to shout out? Anything else you want to say before we wrap things up? I mean, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us.
No, just thanks to you guys. Yeah, it was fun. I'm glad we finally made it happen.
Yeah,
It was
had
a
some
struggle.
problems getting to this point. So.
Yeah. And I'm glad we didn't get kicked out of here either. Good vibes.
I saw some people like approaching us. I got a little worried, but I think we're good.
We just look too
we're
professional.
doing
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we're very professional. We got the
Yeah,
voice,
we
got the
look
TikTok voice memos on our phones. We got shout out Andrew, who's manning the camera right now behind us.
What are you guys rooting for today?
Yeah.
I'm kind of rooting for TL too. You know, I mean, I've
Yeah.
been saying this. It's like APA from NACL and then 4 Koreans, and I'm Korean, so like, kind of have to. It's
Yeah.
like both of my like worlds colliding a little bit. So yeah, I gotta go for TL.
I think I'm rooting for TL a little bit as well. I mean, like, I don't know. The APA story is so cool. I feel like that's like the NA talent dream, and I do think it's gonna be close. I got a 3-2 on the cards. That way we can see Rafa guitar.
Fortunately, this
Wait, what are you talking about? 3-2 who? 3-2 who? 3-2 who?
3-2 Team Liquid.
No, we got.
One team liquid.
Come on, guys. Where's your hope? Where's the faith? We got energy going 3-1 here against Team
Hell
Liquid.
yeah.
Team Liquid is going to have to earn their way through the play-ins, right? We'll send our Korean American team to go play in the international.
They're gonna be at home.
Yeah.
And go over there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to crash over.
No, you're good.
All right, guys. All right.
Mr. Degon, everybody.
All right, see you guys later.
Another NA podcast you're a part of now.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, shout out to Degon, Keel.
Shout out Degon. Yeah, that was great.
All right, we're gonna head in the venue soon. But I guess the video, this is gonna come out after the games happen, so our predictions will be either right or
Yeah,
wrong.
we'll
by
get
True,
to
we'll
know.
get to
We'll
see
get to
it
know.
after
The
the
people will
podcast.
flame us for this, I'm sure.
where can we find you on socials?
Just Keel JG on Twitch. I'm gonna be big on Twitch. If the LCS dream doesn't pan out,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Sounds good. All right, thank you very much, Keel, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Thank you very much to Keel. It was very cool talking to him.
Yeah.
Got a little shout out
awesome.
for Degon at the end of it. We all predicted Team Liquid. Unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Well, unfortunately, Degon crashed our show and was completely correct in his prediction.
You know, he kind of does this for a living.
he does do it for a
Pretty
living.
good
Yeah.
at his job. It's
Yeah, he had the T-shirt and everything. He was ready.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Best of luck to NRG. Shout out to everybody that we know over there. It was very cool watching the finals, and those players definitely deserve it.
Yeah.
And hopefully they put up a good matchup against Cloud9. But Hawk, speaking of, we gotta kind of run over to the arena.
Yeah,
now.
we gotta go. So, hope you all enjoyed the episode. Next time you see us, it'll be the normal sort of setup. But follow us on our socials. And if you think I should have won Salt Street Bets, take this whole thing with a grain of salt. I've been Hawk. That's been Graves. See you guys next time.